All right. Well, at some point I'll get this off. Welcome, everyone. I know you can't see me yet, but you will in just a moment. There we are. It takes a few minutes to like find the little thing to turn it on. They don't make it easy. All right. So, hello. We are live.
Happy full moon, everyone.
Right. That's a big old moon.
Capricorn full moon.
Yeah. We got a big full moon, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter jumping into Leo, all in the next 24 hours. How are you all holding up? Is everything okay in your world? I hope so. 2 full moons. Well, maybe on a different planet. um yeah, so we have a lot going on all at one time. Did you guys notice what's going on in your life? Let me know. Like, is it busy? Is you having problems with your computer, your phone, technology? Sammy says weirdly chill. Yeah, I would be suspicious of that weirdly chill, Sammy. But I'm glad for you. I hope it stays that way, honestly. Um, chicken got scammed. That happens often. That usually happens more. Scammers tend to win more during a Neptune retrograde. Just saying. I noticed that scammers like can break through. They'll figure out how to break through like Facebook's algorithms and stuff like that, all during a Neptune retrograde, almost every time. And I'm like, here they come. They'll like break into my group, and oh man.
So, Sammy, you said it was yesterday. Starting yesterday, it was really chill. Yesterday was a Sunday. All day was a void of course moon. So I was curious how it worked for some people. For me, and I call myself a Sagicorn, so my sun is 2929 Sagittarius. So I'm just almost tipping into Capricorn. That's the name, Sagicorn. So I feel a lot of Capricornian tendencies. Obviously, I'm a Sag. So for me, the void of course moon, it's the early part of the day was fine, but I got really crunchy by the end of the day. I'm not quite sure what got my goat, but I was not a happy camper at the end of the day. So I'm always curious how the void of course moons, it's always that in between state. Of course, it was the sun moving out of Sag right over my sun into Capricorn. The full moon takes place at 8 degrees. Obviously, the sun is in Cancer at 8 degrees, and the moon is at in Capricorn at 8 degrees, opposite sides of the sky. So yeah, if you had a chill day, I'm curious. And if you have any placements around that, I think because it all went over, I have Venus there, I have Juno there, I have the sun, I have Mercury, the South Node. I have a very packed between, I think it's 24 degrees and of Sagittarius and.
Well, that would be a stellium. Right?
Like yeah. Yeah, especially when you throw in the asteroids. It's just chock-a-block at the bottom of my chart. And yeah, so it got very uncomfortable by the end of the day. But yeah, we're here to help. We're here to help you understand your chart and what does all this gobbledygook you're talking about mean to me. To you, not me. You.
Yeah,
we're happy to help, because that's how you really understand astrology is what does it mean to me? I'm looking at my chart, or I don't have my chart, or how can you help me understand my chart? That's what we're here for.
Well, check it out. Chelsea said today was not so bad, but this year's been so crazy. It's hard for me to tell if it's accustomed to the crazy or if it's something is off. I'll look at your chart in just a minute, Chelsea, and try to see. Hey, Bright Hawk, you want to? Why look at Chelsea's chart? Maybe you can.
Sure. Let me throw that in.
Looks like that's her information that you need. Born in Pittsburgh, huh? And I would save them, Bright Hawk, so that when people come back,
I have
so that
been.
Way Jazzy Bella, so Jazzy Bella's Bright Hawk can keep your chart in her lab, so then you can say, you have my chart. I would love for you to look at it in the future. Okay, we do this every Monday night. Okay, so Kat said, I had court this morning and it got kicked out because my previous landlord refuses to be served. I'm a Leo Taurus rising. Yeah, but Kat, let me just say the Mercury retrograde is in Cancer, and Cancer rules homes, your home, other people's homes. And so it would absolutely rule your landlord. And with Mercury retrograde, oh man, well, that's great. I'm glad that it got kicked out. Like, and then plus Jupiter's about to jump on over into Leo. So good for you. I'm kind of hoping that this rules out for you. I kind of hope that it just gets kicked out of court and you don't have to, unless this is you're taking them to court, maybe. maybe there's something that you don't know about it being kicked out. Like maybe you can settle outside of court or something that will work out good for you, cat. Chicken went to church today, but today and yesterday has been bad for my Nana in the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that, Chicken.
Sorry.
I hope that she gets better. Hey, Sammy's a Capricorn moon, and with a full moon there, huh, Sammy? And you're still feeling pretty comfortable. Well, you know, be interested to see what happens in the next 24 hours. Okay, so Jazzy Bill said I wanted to know about love. Sammy's with you there, Chelsea. Oh, okay, Cat's suing him. Well, Cat, there could be something that's settled out outside of court, especially because I think you said you were a Taurus rising, so Chiron's moved into Taurus. Mercury's retrograde. You'll probably settle it by the end of the month, by the time the Mercury retrograde is done, which is at the end, because Jupiter's going to move over into Leo, and you have Leo placements, and that's good luck. And so try not to like assume that this is bad. It could actually be good. It actually could work out in your favor. Okay, so try not to assume that it's a bad thing. Jazzy says Sag Sun, Virgo rising, Gemini moon, Venus Scorp. Okay, all right. Let me just say right away, Jazzy, Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. Is it aspected, Bright Hawk? You got Jazzy's.
Yeah, I got it.
Right?
So let me just bring it up here. So share screen and
remember to maximize your not to maximize.
Don't maximize it, right?
Yeah, great. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. There it is. Great. Ta-da!
There we go.
Okay.
Now we got it.
So let's talk about Jazzy Bella. All right. So it sounds like you already know some basics, which is great. Sag Sun, and yours is real close to just as it's just beginning. You've got that Neptune, Sun, Mercury, all in a stellium in the third house talking to each other. Venus in Scorpio. So you asked about love, which means we're always going to go straight to Venus. And Venus is, I'm going to go ahead and, can you see that? Do you see the screen with the aspects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
I do.
Makes it easier to read it. So Venus is in a trine to the north node, a sextile to the south node, and a square to Mars, which is going to be a little more on the challenge side. Almost a finger of God, not quite. You have an inconjunct moon to Venus. And Saturn is in conjunct to your sun from the looks of that. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Pluto on the ascendant, south node on the ascendant. So transformation. Are you a person that transforms a lot? In the first house, also with Uranus. So you probably can relate with Hollis when we talk about Uranus being your weird spot, that you might even be accused of being weird or different or just not like everybody else. With Uranus.
She's probably also friends with a lot of weirdos.
Yep.
Because it's in Libra.
Something about
say
July
Pluto,
14th.
Bright Hawk, oftentimes people with Pluto on the ascendant, sometimes in the first house, they'll know about it. They'll say that they've had to deal with a lot of death in their life. Not necessarily of themselves, obviously, but sometimes they might have had a couple brushes with death, but they may have also had to deal with a lot of death in their life, a lot of like loss of people, grief.
Oh, and you've had a nodal return recently, last year
In it
probably,
now.
because your South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces, and we are now right at the very, very last degree. It's actually sitting at 0 and will change. The nodes will change signs. So if you felt some intensity around that, that could be part of it.
Yeah, for like the last 2.5 years, Jesse.
And look at this T-square, the nodes at 17 and the Gemini moon at the top of the sky. So when I see the moon at the top of the sky, I kind of wonder, do you feel like you have your emotions on your sleeve, like your emotions are public and you can't hide it because it's in the light. And a Gemini moon, of course, is somebody who's very good at networking, very good at conversation, quick thinking, bringing things together. Gemini, of course, is the twins. So the characteristics of Gemini can be, you're very focused one way, and then there's something else that you're focused in a different way. So that's always interesting.
Do you make money traveling, Jezebel, or bringing people together somehow? Could be technology, but it could also just be bringing people together. Looking at that moon like that with it in square to the south node and the north node would mean that there would be some challenges. Her emotions probably get in the way sometimes of some things.
Yeah, with the T-square, I can imagine that being that creates tension. T-squares. So when you think of a T-square, we think of, obviously you have an opposition at the base and a square to the top. So who's at the top is going to be who's facilitating the conversation. So that would be the moon. And of course, the south node tends to be our past. It could be our past lives, past relations. And the north node, of course, is our future, our destiny. And so you have the moon in there where, I can imagine your emotions are probably strong at times, maybe not, you can't really hide. I don't know if anybody ever says that they can read you because they can see all your emotions on your face. It's going to be hard for you to hide your emotions. This is not a Scorpio, for example. Scorpios are very good at being stoic and playing their cards close to the chest and not revealing. And this Gemini moon at the top in a T-square tells me that's quite the opposite. How does that sound to you? Does that sound accurate?
Well, she's asking about her. When do exes come back?
Yeah.
Let me say that you have Chiron in the 7th house and Mars in the 5th house. And that talks to relationships. And you also have Venus in Scorpio. So these are all things that indicate relationships. So let me first say that Chiron has left Aries, but it is not done with it yet and will be back this fall. It's possible that a person might come back to you in fall, but I'm just going to say that it is highly likely that some of the relationships that you've been in that have broken up and that would come back together are probably not that great for you. And you need to maybe evaluate what's good for you. And with Venus and Scorpio, sometimes there can be challenges in regards to that. And I know that relationships are really important to you with the ruling planet Pluto on your ascendant, considering that Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. But let me just say that, we could talk more about it in detail, but let me just say that sometimes a lot of times relationships aren't going to work really that great. We should probably look at your progressed chart, but you've probably had quite a bit of challenges. And the universe is currently asking you to be careful about over giving, over analyzing, over intellectualizing relationships. You won't be able to control your partners, and there could be some control and power dynamics. I'm aware, Bright Hawk, that Neptune's on there, so I'm trying to bring her aware. I'm trying to bring her to an awareness that relationships may not be in your best interests. And I mean, that you shouldn't have them, but the ones that you have had, you might want to reevaluate them.
Right. I find it interesting that we have Chiron on conjunct your Saturn, your natal Saturn. I added the transits so we could sort of see catch you up with what's happening right now. And so you have an interesting conjunction of transiting Chiron on your Saturn and your natal Chiron with transiting Neptune in Aries. So Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer. Chiron is the one that says, you have to rise up. You have to move through it. You may not understand this right now, but it's for your greater good. It's the wounded healer. The mythology around Chiron is the wound doesn't heal. Okay. What happens is Chiron learns to live with it and learns to harness the gifts and go forward anyway with the knowledge that that wound has created. So for example, I'll use myself as an example. Under no circumstances would I want to create or have cancer, but I did. So in that moment, I knew you better understand why, you better work to transform, you better do everything you possibly can. So A, it doesn't come back, and B, this is your moment of transformation. This is your call to power. This is your opportunity to make changes that you never had the courage to make, because this is in your face and you got to do it. And I did. And so there are gifts that came out of that would have never happened had the other thing not happened. And it was, by no means do I recommend it. But of course, everybody has stuff that happens in their life. Everybody gets challenged in different ways. And Chiron teaches us to use those opportunities and move forward anyway. So the fact that you're kind of dreaming about, seventh house is the house of relationships. So the fact that you're sort of, Neptune is there. Neptune is dreams and visions and fantasy. It could also be illusion and delusion. Chiron is probably asking you to think about how to heal in relationship. What relationships? It doesn't have to be a love relationship. It's all relationships, relationships with family, teachers, friends, all relations. So the fact that you've got Chiron and Neptune having a conversation there is, I find, interesting. And then of course you have it here as well with Saturn in the 8th house. 8th house is the house of shadow, the house of sex, death, and taxes, the things we don't want to talk about, the occult. Saturn is constricting, and you have Saturn retrograde. So Saturn retrograde sometimes leaves people feeling like, well, I'll tell you what I've noticed. What I've noticed is people with Saturn retrograde have a lot of degrees. Like they have a credential in this and a credential in that and a credential in this. And oh, if I just get one more credential, then I'll know what to do. Saturn retrograde sometimes makes it hard for people to see what's the right job. Am I on track? Things of that nature. Because Saturn constricts and Saturn is authority. And Saturn is karma. So when we see that in the 8th house, could definitely be working past life karma, could definitely be, issues with father, We have it in an earth sign, Saturn and Taurus. And now we have Chiron joining that party in Taurus. And what's that conversation need to be? So I don't know what your relationship is with your father or male figure or authority. But there's an opportunity for healing because those two are in such a close conversation.
Right. Well, good luck, Jazzy. I would say that if they come back, whoever your ex is, it would be in the fall.
Oh, thanks for saying that, Chelsea. Great explanation about Chiron. Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Great job. Jazzy, good luck. We can dive deeper in a personal reading, but
this is meant to be a little sample, a little what do we see in 5 minutes and bit. What jumps out.
And I want to address this really great question by Sammy. Sammy says, to see where Mercury retrograde will show up in your life, you would look at the sign it is and find that house in your birthday chart. What sign is beginning? Is that right? That's right. So like here, you can see that Jazzy has Cancer right here, which looks like the little 6. It kind of looks like 69. And it's blue. And sort of at the top here. Brighthawk, can you I think if I point out it doesn't show up, but if you point out it does.
Does it show up?
So Cancer's right here on the line that begins the 11th house.
Can you see me pointing at it?
Yep, and there's the Mercury. And there it is, right? So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in between Jazzy's 10th and 11th house. So she'll probably have some communication issues, or it'll probably be mostly, but Cancer, see how Mercury is actually in the 10th house doing the Mercury retrograde, but Cancer rules the 11th house. So what will probably happen with Jazzy is that it will be something, communication issues at work, and maybe possibly with her friends, and a mixture of the two, or people that influence her, bosses, coworkers, and things of that nature. So she'll probably have some communication issues in that regards. So yes, that is one of the ways that you can see how will affect you, is to simply see what house it rules, what house it kicks off. I explained that again in our live broadcast. If you look at our live broadcast on YouTube, if you tune into the whole broadcast, I'll post it here. That's the YouTube for everyone. And there's also a Substack.
I'll go ahead and put Veronica's chart in.
Okay. I wanted to talk to
Jazzy
Chelsea.
didn't say, Jezebella didn't say anything.
Well, hold on a second. Priscilla also has a, she also gave some.
Oh, sorry. Who should I do next?
Priscilla then? Garcia, maybe?
Okay. Oh,
Priscilla Garcia is next, yeah.
Got it. Thank you. I'll go ahead and do that while you
doing Priscilla?
Sure.
I was just going to look at Chelsea real quick. Chelsea, this Mercury retrograde, one of the reasons you may not be noticing it too much is it kicks off your 3rd house. Now that is the house of communication, so you might have some communication difficulties, but you don't have any planets in Cancer. And so you have no planets in Cancer. You do have Neptune and Capricorn. You have Ceres in Capricorn. So, be careful you're taking care of yourself and that you don't get too caught up in this energy. Leo, it rules your 4th house of home. So Jupiter's going to be moving into there for you. I think that's actually kind of good for you. Honestly,
Priscilla, I need your year. Sorry.
Okay, Priscilla, we need your year. So honestly, Chelsea, the transits are pretty minimal for you right now. So that might be also why you're not feeling, you're actually kind of feeling good. And Chiron's way far away from your moon. So that's good. Hey, Priscilla, do you have your year? I'm sorry that you had to escape domestic violence. I hate when that happens. Chelsea's like, thank goodness, you could use a break, right? Yeah. You could use a break. You could use a break. I totally get it, Chelsea. I could use a break. Um so well, maybe she's not here anymore.
Oh,
So
that's too
maybe you
bad.
just move on to Veronica. Maybe just save
Okay.
it as 2026 and wait and see if she
I
comes
can't
back.
save it without a year. It's defaults.
That's why I said put it in 2026. All
Oh,
right.
well,
So
she's
Veronica, are you here? Veronica, are you here? Just going to see that they're here before we go doing it, putting it in the
right.
software
Let
and
me,
all that. Yeah, takes time. Takes a few minutes to put the information in the birth chart. It takes
yeah,
a
so
few
you
minutes
have to
get
stick
that
around if
Veronica.
you're asking.
Oh, and my name is actually
Veronica.
Vanessa. Okay. It doesn't matter about your name. Yeah, Kat, you can totally DM me your date of birth. Yep. I think I already have it, Kat. Let me look.
Okay. Vanessa, if you want me to do your chart, I need your complete birthday. I need your date, time, and year. And then if you want your current location, so we can help you with the current transits. So I'm not going to pull up that chart until I have that information. Okay. Do you have Sybil or do you want me to do that? Christina? Chicago, Indiana.
Veronica just said she's here.
Okay.
So I thought you were going to do Veronica, which is the one you were going to do.
I can't do it without the year for the
Right
fourth time. There we go. Now I have it. January
person.
17th.
Veronica
Okay,
says-
different person. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Beautiful. Now I can do that. Okay.
I'm looking, Kat. To see if I have it.
Veronica. Okay, but she said it's not Veronica, it's Vanessa. Okay.
Different
Vanessa.
person.
Okay, different person. So it is Veronica. I'm confused. I'm putting in what I see on the screen.
Her name is Veronica Ann.
Okay, and that's what it's going.
Priscilla is the person that didn't give a year.
Okay. Okay, Capricorn, January 17th. Early morning hours. Okay. All right. How about 222? And then Red Deer, Alberta. Okay. Great. I found it. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me just get it down to one chart first. Okay, so, another person with Pluto on the ascendant. Really close. First house, 7 degrees off the ascendant. In Scorpio. Pluto, by the way, if you're new, the outer planets, so they're the slow movers, and Pluto is a generational planet. So when it's in your first house, it is stronger related to you personally. And your Pluto is in Scorpio in the first house. So transformational for sure, because Scorpio is very transformational. Scorpio is very deep. So Scorpio rising, Hollis can speak to that. They know all about it. And I'm also immediately drawn to the stellium here in Capricorn, Uranus, Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. Pretty tight stellium, all 4 planets within 8 degrees of each other. That's a big conversation. So again, Uranus is a generational planet. And Saturn, we've talked about, can represent authority, father figures. Venus, you have it direct in Capricorn, and Neptune right next to it. So, boy, that makes me think that when you see someone and get to know them, and it's opposite Chiron. So, powerful relationships, and that your ability to see it, believe it, and make it happen is probably pretty true. You also have Mars and its rulership on your descendant. Mars is ruler of Aries, and it's the god of war. It's how we fight. It's how we take action. So that's pretty powerful. Having Mars in its rulership means that it's very strong. It's in a square to your sun. So taking action is important to you. You obviously have a Capricorn sun, a Gemini moon, and Scorpio rising. And again, you have a moon that's in conjunct 3 degrees your Uranus. And so that again speaks to change, and second house is what we value. So Venus is the ruler of the second house. And again, that would be a strong position, but the rulership of the second house is Sag. So means Venus is going to speak to Jupiter, and your Jupiter and moon are pretty close to conjunct. It's not a tight conjunction. 7 degrees it's some would count it, some would not. We tend to keep our range pretty tight for conjunctions, but there's definitely, because Jupiter is so strong, and Jupiter in Taurus is very strong, but your Jupiter is retrograde. And I was just talking about this. This is not easy. So we know Jupiter makes everything bigger, it amplifies things. Let's bring the good time. Jupiter is my ruler as a Sagittarius, but when it's retrograde, it can make us doubt. It can make us reflect. I'm not sure. Am I enough? Is this okay? So there's conversation that happens there, and your emotionality around it within your house of relationships, which is the 7th house. It's funny that we've looked at how many couple charts, and we've got 2 Gemini moons. So that Gemini moon is in a very fated conversation between your Uranus and of course your Uranus is close enough to Saturn. All of this influences each other. This is flavored. So I wonder is how do finances come easy, or is it a bit of a struggle with that Jupiter retrograde? You have all this in the second house, and second house is what we value. It can be financial, how we do
comes from relationships.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that, Bright Hawk, is because see how Sagittarius rules the second house, is ruled by the second house, and the ruler is Jupiter, of course, and Jupiter is in the 7th house of relationships. So money comes from relationships. So you just might be married to somebody.
See that? Okay. Wow. I see that. Is that true for you? Yeah. Can you help us?
So maybe Veronica can validate that or not. And then also, you can also take a look, Bright Hawk. I mean, she may also make money because her Saturn is also in the ruling sign.
Yeah,
Saturn, but so is Mars and so is Pluto. So all 3 of those planets are in their ruling sign. And
yes,
I wonder, because Mars is in a square to the sun, that at times she may her temper could make communication. Typically Capricorns are pretty grounded folks, but at times she may find that her temper, particularly with that Gemini moon, could lead to that. And then Gemini moon with a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, she may have a hard time communicating exactly what she's feeling on at any given time. So if she is frustrated, she might have a hard time saying, "Hey, I'm frustrated." And now with this Mercury retrograde back there in Cancer on the 8th house, she's probably going to be dealing with higher learning, maybe school, college, um, grandparents, just trying to think higher vibration. If you do go to school, there could be some issues there. And then also with Chiron there, it could speak to some healing. Maybe there's some healing that needs to be done around your shadow. And with Jupiter moving into Leo, Leo rules her MC, so that's gonna see how it's at the very top. Leo's, even though Jupiter's back here at 0 degrees, Leo is at the top of her chart, the MC. So that's gonna speak to her job. So that's probably, there might be something going on with work and she may not even know it. So okay, so I'll just leave Veronica at that point since she's not saying anything.
This is a dialogue, when you have a reading, it's really important that instead of just
we may not know her exact time.
Yeah, so I was going to mention that I made up 222. If we change the time to 4:44, it might change the rising, etc.
Well, look at that. Look, someone asked the question, so let's talk about this. Suzanne.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Brighthawk. Change it to 3:33. Okay. And watch what happens to all the planets here in Veronica's chart. She doesn't know what time she was born. So maybe she was born at 2:22 in the morning. And if we change it to 3:33, well, then that completely changes things. See how everything moved a little bit in the chart?
Yeah.
And what piece of the pie things are is what area of your life things will be affecting. Now, Brighthawk, take it to 111. Because what's going to happen there?
But she did respond. She said temper is an issue.
Yeah, that would definitely be
surprised.
Either way, because Mars is always going to be in a square to Mercury, no matter. Now, some things will stay the same, but when we start moving things around, 111 makes her Libra rising. Okay, so that completely changes her rising sign. It changes even the moon's placement. Now it's in the 8th house. That'll change the vibration of that. And then Mars's placement up in the 7th house. This will mean that relationships. So now she's saying, I definitely have a temper, which affects all my relationships. And then this is how rectification comes in. When someone doesn't know their time or something, then I start asking some questions and I might say, oh, well, Veronica, do you often give more than you should? Do you find yourself giving more, particularly in community? Do you give?
And this is what happens more than you should. 4:44.
Right, and if you move it to 4:44, it makes her a Sag rising. Maybe she likes to travel. So she thinks it might have been 6 in the morning. Okay, so you can see
that's going to change it again.
It really does change your chart. It doesn't change the planets and what sign they're in, but it changes what house they're in. And so then that just makes reading it a little different. So if you don't know your time, don't guess it. Tell me you don't know your time. And then I won't read that. And then I'll read, oh, well, Mars is in a square to the sun. So,
6 o'clock changes everything. Puts that stellium in the 1st house, which is all about identity.
But the way you're saying that, Veronica, makes me think that you're a Sag rising. Do you like to travel, Veronica? Or do you have a dream of traveling? Are you very multicultural? And so also, I'll look at the way I can still read it without the time. It's just not as detailed. It will be more detailed if I'll be able to be more specific about things. If I know your exact time, and I'll be more accurate. Okay. So 1 hour
Absolutely.
does make a difference. If you don't know your birth time, for instance, I did a rectification for a client. I do rectifications all the time. But one client, for instance, she was adopted and she's from China. So, they don't know what time she was born, and finding out would be impossible. So I rectified her chart, and she's had it rectified before, but she didn't really agree with it. And okay, so Suzanne says we looked at it last week, so maybe some of the things we said weren't as accurate, Suzanne. So what happens is rectification is when I kind of make an educated guess about exactly what time a person is born. And so we decided that she was probably a Cancer rising, and that's worked out pretty well with her as we talk about things and use her astrology chart to guide her through life, and through her Saturn returns right now, which is a pretty important time in life. So knowing what time you're born is valuable, valuable information. It's a privilege, actually. And if you can find out by getting your birth certificate, going back to the hospital you were born at, sometimes they'll have it there for you. Otherwise, you can ask your parents. Your mother will sometimes remember. And then beyond that,
So
I would say rectification.
I don't know where you currently live, so the transits are set for where we are, Albany, New York. But I'm just going to say your transits, if you're feeling a lot right now, if there's a lot going on for you, you have the moon in your first house passing over all of these Capricorn placements, Uranus, Saturn, Venus, Neptune. You have Pluto sitting in between your sun and Mercury. You're having a nodal return. You have Mars conjunct Chiron in the 4th house. You have Mars transiting Mars conjunct your moon with Uranus. Lots going on. If you're feeling a lot, no surprise there. No surprise there, especially this full moon. Boom. All of this is lit up between your 1st and 7th house, which is your house of relationships and your house of identity. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes some sense for you. And I think there's another request, so I'm going to go ahead and.
Well, I have Cat's chart, but
Okay, you get Cat's chart, and I'm going to see who else requested.
Yeah, Cat probably doesn't want me to show her birthday. So I
okay,
just need to.
You can just talk to it.
Yeah, or I can just hold on just a second. Just change it here. Cat, I'm just changing it real quick here for you. And
because Cat's very unique. Their name says Cat's Unique Journey. I love it. Everyone's unique, but that's I love it. Okay, so Sybil, do we have all of Sybil's information? East Chicago, living in Highland, but I don't see any of the rest of it. Oh wait, there it is, Christina. Okay, I will work on Sybil's chart while you work on Cat's.
Okay, so Cat, you know that you're a Leo, and I'm still trying to figure out how to block your birthday. Oh, look at that! I got it. I did it all fancy like. Okay, so I did. Okay, share an image file. So Cat, you are a Leo, so you guys can take a look at this without seeing Cat's birthday. Okay. Let me just take the question away. So Cat, first of all, you're a Leo. Okay. Jupiter's about to jump over into Leo, so it's gonna sort of light up your stuff in the 12th house, which you probably aren't really aware of. You probably are completely unaware of your Leo side. Maybe you've become aware of it as you've aged and with some wisdom. Chiron Chiron is moving over in Taurus in your house of legal. So that's part of why you won, or why what's happening is happening. I assure you that you're going to win with this landlord. I see it as winning. I don't know why. I mean, I hear that you're frustrated and he can't get served or whatever, so he didn't show up. But I think that's not, if you don't, just because you can't be served doesn't mean you get out of court, right? That's not how things work. Usually you have an arrest, a warrant out for your arrest if they can't serve you. And then so if they do arrest him, like if he gets pulled over or something like that, they'll go to his house and try to arrest him. Yeah, it's not something you want. It's not something you want to do, not go to court, even if you weren't served. Just because you didn't get served that's no excuse to get out of court. I'm just saying, just doesn't work that way. So while that might feel frustrating to you, I think it's actually kind of great, because it's probably going to back him into a corner where he's going to have to buy his way out of it. So he's probably going to have to pay a bunch of court costs and stuff like that. The fact that it'll probably all be taken care of before the fall, while Chiron is in Taurus for you. So Chiron's trying to bring healing for you in relation to that. And Cancer's retrograding in the 11th house. So that has to do with landlords and stuff like that. Cancer rules your 11th house. You see that? How Cancer rules the 11th house up here, right here? It rules this house, which is landlords, people that influence you, friends, and things of that nature. And it's going retrograde. I bet you have it settled by the end of the month. By August something, you'll be all done. And then the nodes, this node is going to move on into Leo. Ending that, the North Node is going to move into Aquarius. And it's probably going to change your day-to-day life for some reason. So I don't know how that's going to influence your day-to-day life, but financially, I think it's actually good that he didn't show up. And with the Yod pointing at your Aries moon, keep in mind that kind of gives you a little bit of a temper, and a little bit of nervousness and anxiety, particularly around relationships. And it's a Yod, so you're supposed, there's some sort of, it's like a part of you that you can't really help, and a part of you that will constantly be expressed every time something triggers any three parts of that. So that's, of course, the Aries moon up here, but it's also down here at this Jupiter in Scorpio at 0 degrees, and this South Node, Virgo, which is currently being transited right now. And Neptune is just 4 degrees. It's almost on your Chiron here. So the universe is going to be asking you how to heal yourself and how you want to heal yourself and what you'll be doing to heal yourself. So, Kat, I would strongly suggest that you keep an open mind, keep a positive outlook on that guy, because I'm pretty sure it's going to come back to bite him in the bunghole. Pretty sure it's not going to be very comfortable for him. Ouch. And we'll see what happens. Okay. I hear that he's a jerk. Okay.
So as somebody who also has a stellium in the 12th house, and a stellium is this Mars, Ceres, Sun, South Node. 12th house can be the house of our undoing. It can be our blind spot. It could be our hidden enemies. It could be our self-sabotage. So it's where it's important for you to be really clear, to the extent that you can be clear about what your intention is. Leo, Mars in Leo. Leo is the sign of, look at me. are not great, hopefully. And I have a Leo moon. That's why I'm laughing at myself. And of course, Jupiter is on top of it. I have a 0 Leo. So, paying attention to, for lack of a better word, Mars and Leo, I'm just going to say, check your ego. Like, are you doing things for the right reasons? And Leo can be very noble, very integrous, loyal to almost a fault. And it's only 6 degrees from your sun. So when you have the sun, and Hollis can speak to this, sun in the 12th house, there can be, sometimes you don't know how you feel because it's in that blind spot. You're not sure. Like, well, I'd love it if it happened this way, but I'm not really sure, kind of thing. So that doubt can come in, the am I good enough? Am I worthy? All that kind of crap can come popping up. Does that ring true for you? And just paying attention to that, like really paying attention to that. With that, we look at it as Aries moon.
Great Hog Cat said, I'm a behind the scenes kind of Leo, making the magic happen, not the one in the spotlight. Of course you are, because your sun and Mars and Lilith is all in the 12th house. So of course you're hidden. And that's that's perfect, kind of like, actually. You want to make other people look good. So that's fine. That's your expression of it. That's a perfectly healthy expression of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Constant self-doubt. That has to do also with the Aries moon. The Aries is in its fall. The moon is in its fall in Aries. So it doesn't like being there. So as a result, it's kind of anxious and it can leave you with a lot of self-doubt. Plus you have Chiron in the 8th house of shadow. So I would imagine a lot of that self-doubt probably comes from your childhood. Just a wild guess.
Just a little 5-minuter.
Yeah. Hopefully Georgette. Hey, Georgette. It's good to see you. Thanks for popping in. We're having a great time doing readings on Monday nights here. Michelle says she's got South Node Libra. Okay. So you're letting go of relationships that you overgive or do too much for. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Sybil, also known as Christina, or maybe I'm doing a chart for Christina that Sybil wants to know about. I'm not really sure, but I pulled that chart up. And if you're still here, we'll get into that. Please confirm you're still here and that I have this correct. May 12th and East Chicago, Indiana. So first thing, and this is a wonderful thing to be able to show folks, you have a beautiful grand trine. A grand trine is this big blue triangle, and it's a grand trine in air. That's part of a definition of a grand trine. It's all the air elements in this case. So you have Gemini, Mercury, Gemini, 1 degree. You have Pluto and Vesta in Libra. And the other point is your moon, also with Ceres in Aquarius.
Christina, I have to say it. Christina, did you lose your temper at work today? Did you say something? Did you kind of like go off today? If you didn't today, it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying, because you have Mercury in Gemini and Mars is sitting on top of it. Like today, tomorrow. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kind of out. Oh, okay.
And it'd probably be at work or with work or related to work or related to what you give the world. Sorry you keep having to leave, Kat. As far as your surgery goes, I'm pretty sure you're good to go. The North Node is in the 6th house of health, and it's just about done its journey. So you're healing. Sybil saying no, but then she said yes, so I'm not sure. Anyway, be careful tomorrow. If it didn't happen already, Sybil, Christina, be careful tomorrow. Something could catch you off guard or something.
So you may or may not already know this. You obviously know you're a Taurus sun. You have Leo on your ascendant, and we keep talking about Leo because Jupiter just joined the party there. Or tomorrow, Leo joins the party in Sag. So, and Jupiter and Sag, I'm sorry, Jupiter rules Sag. Mercury and Jupiter are traveling closely together. And so I'm going to keep it to the first chart for now. All right, so things that jump out. The Saturn in Cancer. Saturn in Cancer jumps out because it's in a square to Pluto, and it's in an inconjunct to the moon, which is what we keep talking about. Inconjuncts, also known as quincunxes. It's a 150-degree angle. And so what that means is that these are lines that are fated. These are things that push us. These are things that tell us this is part of what you came here to deal with, you know? And I imagine your thinking is very important, intellectual, being able to put things together. Your house of work is your sun, the 10th house. Your sun and Mercury are together, but not closely together. So we wouldn't call that conjunct per se, because that's really 10 degrees. That's enough to be separate. In case you didn't know, Mercury and Venus are never going to be more than one sign different than your sun sign because they travel so close to the sun. So this is that little separation. Sun's in Taurus, Mercury's in Gemini. What else do you want to call out here, Hollis?
Well, what I'm noticing is Pluto is on her moon. Well, it's over there in the 6th house, but it's in Aquarius. And see, her natal Pluto is there in the 3rd house of community and but when I'm looking at Aquarius, I'm also looking at, Uranus is also in Libra in the 3rd house. Sybil, is there some major change and transformation with who's in your life day to day? It's particular about relationships and people in your life. It could be like your neighbors or cousins, siblings. It could be romantic relationships, but I'm betting it has more to do with who's in your life day to day somehow. Could be where you live or work or something. There's some sort of change.
Yeah. Does that help you, Christina? And do you have any specific questions?
Yeah, I didn't see if she had a question. Anyway.
Well, hopefully that's helpful. And again, if you ask a specific question, it helps us focus on, there's a million things we can talk about in the chart. You know, we're always going to try to point out some of the obvious things. And if you have a question like the way the last person did, it helps us know what to hone in on.
Yeah, and astrology, I can sit here and spend hours. Do I say anything with love? Well, I just said it. Sybil, I just said it. I just asked you. What's going on with relationships? Okay, that's Lilith. that it's on there. See how it's on right on it, right, Hawk? See how
Yep.
Pluto's on Lilith? The one thing I would say, Christina, is are you in your power? Are you standing in your power? You're single, but are you standing in your power? I want to say that you need to work on that. I can see that there's a part of you that doesn't always stand in your power. You need to stand in your power. You need to be a powerful woman, and you need to own your sexuality, own who you are. It's pretty important with Lilith there. Pluto's on Lilith. It's asking you to transform. It's asking you to change yourself. It's asking you, Pluto's right on top of it there. You can see Pluto's about change, transformation, power, and control. And it's at 4 degrees. So it's just past your moon, which is emotional, just past Lilith, which is sexuality, but your Lilith was born retrograde. So I don't know if you maybe with sexuality is a little bit harder for you to express. Might be the home that you were raised in, especially since Scorpio, which is sexuality, is ruling the 4th house. I would, I don't know what went on there. You have Jupiter in the 8th house, but it's forward. It's in Pisces. So you like to have an emotional connection in sexuality and stuff like that. But Lilith is about standing in your power. It is the ultimate feminist. If you know the story of Lilith, God told her to have Adam's children, and she said, GFU. And you know what that means. She said no, and she didn't have children, and she stood in her power, and that's what made her a sex demon. I wouldn't call her that. I would just say that she's a powerful woman and stands in her power. She stood up to God. Okay. And so she says what she really is. It's down. Lilith is down in the 6th house next to her moon. It's retrograde. So that usually means the person was not born in their power. They had to learn what it meant to be a woman.
Well, wouldn't you also say this Jupiter series, Jupiter makes everything better, bigger. Ceres is it's not just motherhood, it's also what we bring into the world, what we birth into the world. So I see those together and I go, strong mother. And you have to be a strong mother if you're by yourself doing it. And that takes
she said
enormous.
She's been single most of her life.
Yeah, enormous. Did I read that wrong? Single most of my life. I thought I saw single mom, but no, maybe I made that up. Sorry.
I think she mentioned.
Okay,
she
never mind.
Said that somewhere. But the other thing that I want to say is Aquarius rules your house of relationships, and Sagittarius rules your house of romance. So Venus is, and for you, Venus is in Aries. Unfortunately, this could lead you, I don't know if you've been in some polyamorous situations or long distance relationships. You've probably had a couple of those. Or unusual situations, unusual relationships. And with Venus and Aries in the 9th house, I'm going to say look for wiser men or people. You don't have to be attracted to men. People. So whoever you're attracted to, try to date people that are wiser, older.
Especially with that grand trine in air, that just makes me think somebody who's smart should be a turn on.
Yeah, but the issue is that Aquarius rule in the 7th house, Sagittarius rule in the 5th house, and the Aries and the Venus in Aries, those three things point to maybe not completely understanding relationships. And Jupiter in the 8th house doesn't exactly make sex like it will make some sexual things harder. Jupiter in the 8th house, it will make some sexual things harder to comprehend, or they kind of just don't always get it. And then
well, hopefully that helps. Gosh, can you believe how quickly this hour has flown by?
Well, I'm glad it happened.
Seems like we just got started.
We can go deeper at some point, Sybil, and I can talk more about the relationship thing that's been going on your whole life and why that's been happening. It's actually related to your past life. So just so you know, it's actually related to a lot of what has happened in your past life. So we can talk about it, but you know, you can get a reading with me, a private reading. I'm trying not to embarrass you. So that's the other thing, right? You can book with either me or Bright Hawk at Psychic Insights. We hope that you'll take time to listen to this week's this week's broadcast on YouTube. I already put the link up in the description, but I want to give you my Substack, and let me give you the link to my Substack so you can see that, because I want you to, you know, you can read this week's, you can read your horoscope this week. Those kinds of things I've already posted. The horoscopes in written form are already on Substack, so you can catch that. I'll also be posting there's the Substack, there you go. I'll also be posting the reels with me doing the video interpretations for the horoscopes. Anyway, good luck with this Mercury retrograde this week and everything that's going on. There's a lot happening this week. It's definitely a packed, solid astrology week for all of us. We could all use a little quiet time, I assure you. So if you are getting quiet time because you don't have anything in Cancer or something, Chelsea, take this time to relax. Take this time to chill and just be like, oh, thank God. Because God knows next time it'll probably be your turn. We all take turns doing this, but thanks for
tuning in. That's the sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's the beautiful thing about astrology is it's always changing. It's not like the sky stays stagnant and it's going to be stuck like this forever. No. If it's intense today, it's probably going to feel different tomorrow. And thank you for always checking in and being willing to share your charts with us. We're always happy to try to help and help you understand what it means for you. And thanks for listening to Rainbow Soulstrology. I hope you check out the the broadcast and your personal.
Get your horoscope. Get the Substack.
Yeah.
Get the Substack link and go read your horoscope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry we've run out of time, but please check in next week and we'd be happy to answer your questions then. And have a great week. Thanks for listening to Rainbow Soulstrology, where we try to be a bridge between you and the stars. Have a great week, everybody.